what you're seeing in this country is like the revolutions of 1989 on antimatter. What Elon Musk talked about, the leading agencies, is like, this is bigger than when the Stasi collapsed in East Germany. This is like that on antimatter. When you talk about this type of stuff, this is like imagine the times we're living in. Imagine the times we're living in. Imagine the times that we're living in, where we have people like Musk saying we're going to delete agencies. Yeah, this is bigger than when the Stasi fell and East Germany collapsed and the Iron Curtain fell, and when East Germany, when Germany became unified again, and I think in the early 90s, in 1992, it became officially unified. And when Trump is like Gorbachev and Glasnost is like Doge. Glasnost was this thing that was introduced in the Soviet Union in 1985, and it was this thing called it was about transparency and freedom that Mikhail Gorbachev created and rolled out in 1985 when he got elected in the Supreme Commander leadership position. That was like the president equivalent of the Soviet Union, and so he rolled out this thing called Glasnost and Perestroika, and it was called. And look what happened here. People looked into this stuff. Everybody, Soviet citizens, people in Russia, people in the Soviet citizens, they looked into it, and the Soviet Union fell within 6 years. It collapsed. It basically fell apart within 6 years. And the Soviet flag was lowered in Moscow on December 25th, 1991, and the Russian flag was raised in Moscow December 26th, 1991. I mean, this is like that on antimatter. I mean, what you're seeing in the world, what you're seeing with how everything is, where we have a thing called Doge. Doge is like Glasnost. It's where transparency. It's where people are transparent on what goes on. And look what's going to happen to Washington. Look what's going to start happening to the United States. Look what's happening to the United States. This is going to be looking, and look what happened to Yugoslavia. It's like the breakup of, it's like all this stuff. Look what's happened when Belgrade fell, when we had Belgrade too. So we had East Berlin, Moscow, and Belgrade, these big enclaves of the Eastern Bloc countries in the Soviet Union, and all this stuff. This is like that on antimatter. When you have an administrative state, when you have a thing, you're never gonna see the federal government, the United States government, ever again after this. No, because or not in this case. You're not gonna see the federal government like this ever again, or a system like this ever again, because you just won't, And like when East Germany fell, because when the Stasi fell, this was all predicted. This was all like, if you divide a country with a wall, east and west, you have West Germany, East Germany. If you do that for like so long, people are gonna be pissed off, and want the country unified again with no wall. And you're gonna see this stuff happen in this country. you're gonna see like people want no wall. You know, they want no wall, and probably at the borders, and we'll create something better. We'll create like a North American state. I don't know, maybe something like that, a North American states style system or something like that. Because what you're seeing right now, it's like this. This is like when East Germany fell. This is like when the breakup of Yugoslavia. This is like when during the Yugoslavian War. This is like, this stuff is gonna top that by magnitudes. What's going to happen to our country? What's going to happen to our country with these systems is gonna be like it'll be like when the Soviet Union, the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Like when you talk about, because I'm a man that's a very historic man, a person that talks about history and stuff. I'm a very historic and a very like big guy when it talks about, like when you talk about history events and relating to today's stuff. And what you're seeing now, it's like that on antimatter, and it's like when you talk about what's going to happen to. There's not going to be an administrative state. No, there's not going to be that, and what will happen is, it will, you know, it's just palpable. It's just right there. It's like what happened to you, you know. It's like all that. It's like, and so next time, REYMEGA signing off.